Hi everyone, welcome back to Christopher's Models and Dioramas. Like I said in the finishing part of the elephant project, I told you a little bit about what this next one's going to be, and here's the start of it. 1/4 inch piece of plywood that I sanded down around the edge to get rid of all the splinters. I left the top part a little rough sanded because I wanted the glue to stick to not only the wood, but also the polystyrene foam, which I beveled down and shaped to give the creek bank a little bit of its angle, the sloping look to it. Then, on top of the polystyrene foam, there's a layer of plaster cloth. Now, you've seen plaster cloth used in making homemade piñatas. It's not that really expensive, but model railroad builders will also use it in their builds, as well as diorama builders will also use it for the exact same thing I've got here. On top of the plaster cloth, which is held into place with not only just the plaster itself that's in the cloth, but also the glue, I've got two types of plaster. Well, two different pours of plaster. The first pour is this here. Now, I didn't mix it according to the instructions. I wanted it something that I could sculpt on here in layers and shape it with my hands. The second one is made the consistency of about oatmeal, a little chunky. Now, for that is so I could get the creek bank up here, its look, which you can barely make out. So like this ridge here, and how rough it looks. And that will actually come into play, both of this will actually come into play when I start to do the terrain look up here on the creek bank, as well as the water effect. Now, the water effect for this is going to be kind of a tricky, but fun and inexpensive way of doing it. Now, after I put the first layer on here, and I put my cattails and other effects I want in here, because once it's on here, it's not going to go anywhere, because I've got to make absolutely sure this guy is done the way I want it to be. And then I'm going to stick him in here. And once this sets, it's going to take about 48 hours to set the first layer. He's not going to go anywhere short of blowing this thing to bits. And it's pretty durable stuff. It doesn't cost a lot. It's called liquid nails. I find it in pretty much, it's a clear acrylic glue. Stuff smells to high heaven, so you want to wear a mask, and you don't want any of it on your hands. So you're going to wear gloves, and you want to fashion you some craft sticks that you can use to layer it on here and give it the slight rippled look, which is not difficult to do. Just get your craft stick wet and go at it. You can use rubbing alcohol, though it dries quicker. You can use water. And then you're going to put those on in two layers to get it to the water level you want. Now, I already have a etched water line right here. This isn't going to be the official water line, because I may make changes later on depending on how deep I really want this to look. Total time on this build will probably be about another 3 or 4 more videos at the very most. But the hard part will be the water effect, because it's basically done in 4 stages. I have the basic terrain color, the painting it, and then the first layer, which I've got to put in all the effects, and then I've got to put him in. That's the second layer, second stage. Then the third is putting another layer under here, making sure I get it exactly the way I want it to build up around the gator, with a little bit of painting on top of that. And then the other one will be a real thin layer of the exact same glue for the water effect, and touching up and filling in any slight mistakes. And that's going to have to set for like a week, maybe 2, before it will be good looking. It's inexpensive, but you got to take your time with this. It isn't something you can mix and pour and go, oh great, in 24 hours it's done. It's about saving money. It may take you a little bit extra time, but in the end, you're going to have a far better looking project than before. Again, pardon the lighting. I'm doing what I can, working on that problem still yet. But until next time, remember, if you're not getting a little bit messy while you're doing it, you're not having as much fun. Take care, and I hope you have a good week, and I hope your summer is good so far too as well.